How did the Emancipation Proclamation affect the economy and social infrastructure of the South? If you're curious about how the Emancipation Proclamation impacted the South, you're about to uncover some fascinating and significant changes. Let's break it down. The Emancipation Proclamation, issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1863, had a profound impact on the Southern economy. Before the proclamation, the South relied heavily on slave labor, which was essentially free labor. This allowed Southern plantation owners to sell their products, like cotton, at much lower prices compared to the North. When the Emancipation Proclamation took effect, it freed slaves in the rebel states, which meant that the South suddenly lost its primary source of cheap labor. This led to a significant increase in the cost of labor for growing and harvesting crops. Since slaves were no longer available, the cost of producing agricultural products skyrocketed, making it difficult for the South to compete in the global market. The lack of mechanized industrial processes in the South made things even worse. Unlike the North, which had advanced farming methods and industrialized processes, the South's economy was largely based on agriculture and slave labor. Without slaves, the South struggled to maintain its agricultural production, leading to a decline in its economy. The economic hardship was not just limited to agriculture. The value of slaves was a substantial part of the South's wealth. In 1860, the economic value of slaves exceeded the combined value of all the nation's railroads, factories, and banks. When slavery was abolished, this wealth was essentially wiped out, leaving the South in a precarious economic position. Socially, the Emancipation Proclamation also brought about significant changes. Freed slaves faced numerous challenges as they transitioned to life as free individuals. Many African Americans had to navigate a society where they were still treated with hostility by many white people. The proclamation marked a major turning point in the fight for freedom, but it did not immediately end all forms of slavery or discrimination. The aftermath of the Civil War saw the South struggling to recover economically. The region experienced rapid inflation, which further curtailed its capacity to recover. The lack of alternative labor sources and the dependence on slave labor made it difficult for the South to adapt to the new economic reality. In contrast, the North benefited economically from the Emancipation Proclamation. With the South's economy in shambles, the North was able to fill the gap in international trade, leading to a boom in exports of cotton and processed materials. This expansion helped the North recover quickly from the economic impacts of the Civil War. The Emancipation Proclamation also had a positive impact on the North's international relations. European countries that had abolished slavery viewed the U.S. more favorably, leading to more trade agreements and greater wealth for the North. In summary, the Emancipation Proclamation had a devastating economic impact on the South, while it helped the North to thrive. The loss of slave labor, the increase in labor costs, and the lack of industrial development all contributed to the South's economic struggles, while the North's industrial and agricultural sectors flourished.